Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Elma, the non-tech techie, and today I am going to interview Abhishek, who is the founder of Frescent, and part of the brands of Frescent is actually Mystrika, and he also has other products like Filter Bounds, Mutant Mail, the social testimony. So we had a lot of these products, and he also has some free tools like bestwebtools.com. So you do, and slimdomain.com. I use that a lot. So what's exciting about today is that it's how do you call that? It's today is a discussion about what is the state of cold email now in 2024 because there were a lot of cold email tools that were launched for the past 2 years, and it's really gaining popularity. But and cold emailing or cold calling, I mean, this technique has been used for years. And now that we are getting more and more advanced, so we have tools like Mystrika to help us even become more efficient when it comes to doing cold emails. So,
Correct.
so we're going to discuss current state and efficiency of cold emailing, and Abhishek is going to share some metrics with us, like, hey, if you do cold email and if you do it properly, what kind of results are you going to expect? Because he is using doing cold emails himself, and he has very interesting tactics. Actually, offline, Abby and I discuss regularly some ideas on how to do the cold emails, like what type of content, or how do we get an effective hook to capture attention of those that we are writing emails to. And yeah, so it's really, really quite exciting. So, but what else? Key metrics and what metrics you cannot ignore, and what really are the most important metrics, because there at one time someone was saying open rates is the most important, but is that really is that really the most important? Why are you laughing?
It reminded me of something, a group discussion that was ongoing just yesterday in my group, in the Mystrika group, where
Okay. See.
two of our customer were saying, one guy was saying we want to track open, but we don't want to track click. The other guy was saying we want to track click, but not the open rate, hoping that these won't hurt their reputation. So we will get to all that because it is a very exciting stuff. And
Okay.
I can of course tell everyone why we say it should not be done or should be done and whatnot and everything else. Because of
Right.
course we have been doing emails since the days we launched our first one, which was Mutant Mail, and I think that started in 2021, I believe. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first email tool that we brought on, and today Mutant Mail is still doing more than 500,000 emails every day, processing through its servers, of course forwarding both sides. So half a million
Nice.
emails gets forwarded via Mutant Mail every day. So imagine the volume that the software that you need to, and the infra that you need to build to sustain that kind of reputation, to ensure 500,000 email can be sent to providers like Google, Microsoft, and so on and so forth, and your spam rate remains under the hood, and so those all key things came into picture when we actually built Mystica. That those all knowledges, we were on the white side then, and today we are on the gray side. So it is not.
Okay. But anyway, we are going to discuss all these juicy details. And then what else are we going to discuss? Oh, and also like some of the most commonly asked questions, like, hey, what do you do? Like, what is the cheapest way now to get emails, inboxes for cold emails,
Mm,
depending on the volume that you're sending and stuff like that?
correct.
Because Abby actually has Do You Mail, and this is, personally, I don't use it. And why? Because I have very low volume. But once it becomes that I need at least, what I
Let's say,
calculate,
yeah. So let's say the
15,
number.
20 inboxes.
So basically, the email volume that we generally recommend the folks to start with is anywhere between minimum 500 emails per day. And since you cannot send more than 50 emails, that is half email for warm up and half for
Mhm.
cold email. So effectively, we are saying you cannot send more than 25 cold emails per email ID per day. So that means to send 500 emails, you are going to need 20 email IDs. So just for sending 500 emails, you are going to need 20 email IDs. And we recommend going with 1,000. So you need 40 email IDs. So for 40 email IDs, if you go by, let's say, the rate that Google charges you, that is around $7 per month if you are in the Western hemisphere. So that is around $40. 40 into 7, that is around $280 per month you will be spending. Now, if you look on, so that was the reason we buy Do You Mail. Actually, Do You Mail was not ever our idea. uh, One of our customer approached us and they said uh, that Zoho is shutting down, and that at that point Zoho was banning all people who are doing cold imaging using their servers and so on and so forth. So a customer approached us, and then he said, "We need a way in Mystrika to send more volume, but we don't want to raise our cost. Can you build a service?" And that is when we did a POC. He liked overall structure, and then DoYouMail was born. So it's a cost-effective solution. I won't say it is at par at Google or Outlook or Microsoft, but then let's say whatever 2 or 3% reputation it lacks, it overwhelms that problem with high volume. But let's talk about Mystrika for now.
Right.
I
Let's talk
think
about Mystrika for now because, like, when I did my calculations, like,
Mhm.
okay, I will start switching to Do You Mail if I have this much number of inboxes
Correct.
to manage. So right now, it's not cost effective for me, but time
Mhm.
will come that it will be cost effective for me because I only have like
Of
one, two,
course.
three, four, five, six, 9 inboxes
Correct.
that I'm using, and at that rate, Do You Mail is not
Absolutely. Unless
cost
you are
effective.
into a real volume game, it doesn't
Right.
make sense.
Exactly.
For
And by the
example,
way, that's the only reason why I'm not using it. Okay, so shall we start with with Mystrika now? Okay.
okay. So first thing I think what we should discuss is most of the people, and I keep on getting this over and over again everywhere. People don't understand what is the difference between a subscribed list and an unsubscribed list. What is marketing emails? What is a cold email?
Yes,
So,
that's
so
true. I also had to
and
explain that a few
yeah,
times.
and I have explained it over and over, and I think the count has exceeded far beyond 500 now. Okay, I have answered it in support, I have answered it in group, I have answered it in live. So basically, anyone who you send an email who is not aware of you beforehand, it's a cold email. If he has not given you a opt-in on a form or anywhere else, it's a cold email. In fact, if you send an email to someone's support and you are not a user or a member of that tool, it's a cold email. As simple as that. Anyone you approach with any kind of question who is not aware of your presence or who has not authorized you, given you access to their email personally, that is a cold email. And that is what we are talking about. Please don't confuse it with the regulations that you follow with subscribed list, email headers, unsubscribe link. And if you guys want, I can literally show you guys the FTC's own website where it says can spam law. And this is a very interesting thing. All the gurus have been saying this. You should have an unsubscribe link and so on and so forth. FTC's own law, Can Spam Act, says plain and simple, you need to specify in every email how the user can opt out easily. It doesn't say you need to have a link, you need to have a header, you need to have this, you need to have that. If you can manually do it, you can do it. There is no law against it. So that is primarily the difference between opt-out list, that means subscribed list, and the cold email list. So Mystica is a cold email tool. You send emails to people who are not readily aware or actually your user yet, but they could be. Those are prospects or leads.
Right. And they haven't opted in yet.
Correct.
And that is called email. Okay. So, like,
Correct.
this is really the distinction. Have they opted in? Yes or no? If yes, it's a subscriber. No, that's called email. So, when
Correct.
we say it's a subscriber, then the software that you use is actually different from cold emailing tools.
Correct.
So for this one,
Correct.
you use like Aweber, VBout, MailChimp,
Exactly.
Akumba Mail, or whatever. But the other part of it, the cold emails, those that who did not opt in, they don't
Mm,
know you, then this is where tools like Mystrika come in. And
correct.
so let's discuss further.
Okay. Now, another question that gets asked in is cold email a spam? Honestly, uh, it will depend on how you are using cold email. Plain and simple. Now, suppose if you gather a list from someone, you don't know anything about that guy at all. You don't know where he belongs into, which niche he works into, and you start sending them emails. That's a spam. Plain and simple. Because he will never be interested. He might be interested in your product. He might not be interested in your product. You are sending a generic message altogether. Cold email is mainly for B2B. Of course, people do for B2C. In some parts of the world, even B2C is legal. Okay, I'm not saying it is not illegal. It is legal. But then you need to know about your prospects first. For example, and I give this example fairly often, you might be having most rugged toy, a dog toy, in the world, and you might be selling at the most affordable price you have ever seen in the market. But if the prospect is not a dog lover, he has never owned a fucking dog. He's
Hey, mind your language. We are live. You are not talking to me in person. Mind your language.
so,
We are
so,
on live on YouTube too.
all
Okay.
right. So sorry about that. So basically, if the user is not uh, uh, a pet lover, he's not a dog owner, he might never you might never close the sale at all. It is plain and simple, because he is not your targeted audience. You might be having the best copy in the world, you will never close the sale. So if you are troubling folks by sending them emails which are not related to their area of expertise, their requirement, their needs, you are sending spam. So we don't advise that. I don't think any any software in the world or any founder in the world that does cold email will ever advise that. So please carve out a niche, see, find out a way to find your targeted prospect, and then drop them an email. See if they are interested or not. And we can, of course, talk about scenarios. I can show the example and so on and so forth. And of course, the metrics if you guys are interested into that.
Okay, so yeah, people are having difficulty finding us because of the API change in Facebook group. So people are
Ah.
confused, like, "Hey, where are we?" Okay, so we are currently on the Facebook page live stream and
Mhm.
also on YouTube. So please inform your friends that we are in these two places broadcasting live.
Yeah, that has been a havoc actually. The Facebook pulling out group API altogether.
Okay, so I'm just saying later I'm live, can't answer. Okay, so let's go now. Okay, so they are starting to come in here.
Mhm.
So we have MD Gafar and Rana, and hi to everyone. So a few of them have started to show up and finally found us. Okay, so that happens. We also have some in YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's the thing. The Facebook group API. Yeah, that's a little bit of a pain, but we will go through it. We will work through it. Okay, we
Correct.
always find a way. That's what we do all the time. Okay, so let's check. So we have Misa Noor, Niru, Yep. And okay, so that's good.
Mhm.
They are starting to find us. Thank you so much, everyone. And really sorry about this. We need to do better logistics and informing you guys where we are live.
I
Okay.
think we are
So,
doing this is the first live you are doing after the group change APIs, right? So that might
uh,
be the reason.
I had a live last week,
Okay,
but I don't know what happened there. But there were a lot of attendees. They can find it easily. I
okay,
think I created a double event in our group that time. So this time,
okay.
instead of doing so first I did a post on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page, and I just shared that event to the group.
Okay,
While
okay.
last week I created both a an event and shared an event from the page to the group. So that's
Okay.
the difference. So let's see. So I'm doing like an A/B testing, and what is the best way. So it looks like I figured it out now. What is the best way? Oh my
Uh,
god. Okay, okay.
uh,
So let's go. Sorry, what was the topic earlier? Because
so we were talking about, so we talked about what is the difference between a subscribed and a cold email,
right,
and we talked about why cold email and what sort of audience you should be targeting into. Let's talk about is cold email relevant in 2024? Okay, so
right.
honestly speaking, cold email and cold calling has been there before I or Elma were born. Okay, that is how bricks and mortar stores were running.
Oh, by the
Pamphlets are.
way, we are not that old. Just to let you know.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting older with time now. So
Okay.
so brick and mortar stores, I mean, that is how it used to work, right? Pamphlets are sort of informing. It's a form of advertisement, stating people getting an inbound notification if these people are interested or not. So cold email, cold calling has been there since eternity. They are always going to be there. The volumes may change, the tools may change, but they are always going to work. And in fact, one of the very interesting ways of converting people via cold email is you get a positive response, pick up the phone and call them. I bet 99% of the people have not tried this. I can say point blank, 99% of the people, even though they have a phone number of the prospect has said, okay, I'm interested, you have never called them. You call them, I'm guaranteeing you 50% of them will close right then and there. And of course, you cannot cold call so many prospects because you are sending emails to thousand of them. But come on, the reply rate on an average on a cold email is 10 to 15%. Positive reply rate 10 to 15%. So you only have to talk to 10 people out of 1,000 emails that you are sending. That is no big deal. Writing, responding to 10 people or calling 10 people and having a almost guaranteed sale or two sale or three sale is nothing. It's super good. I mean, that is the most efficient way to spend your time making and closing sales, because those people have already said they are interested. So either you close them, get them on call, or you schedule a meeting, explain to them about your tool, and you close the sale. That is how the thing goes. It's all about starting a relationship with the guy. I mean, just take. I will talk about my experience. I think there has not been a single time I have got on a call with a prospect customer and I have not closed him. For Mystrika, do you mail, filter bounce, my closure rate, if I get on a call, is almost 95%. 95%. I mean, literally, the guy, if the guy is ready to give you time to talk to you about that tool, of course, he is interested. If he is interested, he is ready to give time. If you have done your prospect listing right, he has the money. Why won't he purchase your tool? He needs it, right? Think from the perspective of not just making a sale. Think from the perspective of, if that guy does he that guy needs your tool for their own job. Okay, if you are not able to close the deal, not only you are at the loss, even the other guy is at the loss, because he won't be able to get the benefit from whatever you are selling. It is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. And that is why these tools like Mystrika and so on and so forth are so important, because it builds your whole pipeline. It is building a whole network, whole chain, whole sustainability. That is where these tools become so important.
Right. Some other people, okay, Abhishek calls it pipeline. Some other people call it a funnel. Okay, so it's the same.
Correct. It's
Just to
same thing.
let you know, because yeah, sometimes semantics people get confused. Oh, what
Correct.
does Abhishek mean about pipeline? So it's also the sales funnel. So you start from the top of the funnel where first you get people interested by sending them these cold emails,
Mhm.
and based on the way you write it, somebody people open it, click through it, and schedule a meeting with you.
Yeah.
And once they schedule a meeting, and this is the click rate on the okay, the click rate, the the percentage of meeting booked,
Mhm.
this is very important.
Correct.
And after that, because the percentage of meeting booked, 95% of that will convert. Okay, and that's what will show you the money. Really, it's
Yep.
not the open rate, it's not the
You you you
okay.
you can pretty much forget about open rate. Open rate is the worst metrics there is. In fact, I will go so on so forth and upfront about you with you guys. Most of the cold email tool on the market doesn't do basic sanity needed for open rate tracking. They are open. Just imagine this. Most of the tool on market say your open rate is 90%. I assure you, I don't know about your friends, but if I send email to 100 of my own friend saying I'm getting married, I guarantee you 90% of them won't open my mail within 48 hours. It's impossible that out of my own 100 friends, 90% of them will open that mail. It's impossible. So imagine you're sending emails to prospects who don't know you. How can you have a 90% open rate? That's
Yeah.
not possible. It's
Okay.
not genuine. And then on top of that, people talk about 40% reply rate, 50% reply rate. Just think for a minute. If the open rate cannot be 90%, or let's take same example. I tell 100 of my friends, I'm getting married. Are you coming? Two-line messages, very easy to read. Even the subject, I will say, I'm getting married. Where are you? Cannot be catchy than that, right? Because I have a personal connection. I assure you, out of 100, it is very difficult that 50% of them will respond back within a day. Very difficult that out of my 100 friends I sent just marriage mail to, 50% will respond back. They may not. So, prospects, cold emailers, or your leads, 50% of them responding is a tough ask. It can happen, but that is not realistic.
Okay. So we got a point. And by the way, so Abby is talking about cold email, his metrics here. I actually do run newsletter campaigns, and I
Yeah.
do it twice a week. My open rates are around 40%, and this is
Yep.
already a warm campaign.
Correct.
Okay. So if people tell you that, hey, your open rate is 90% in cold emails, ah, and the 40% open rate, that is really good, because what I did was
Correct.
really precise, very targeted to my specific audience, because I did audience segmentation and stuff like that.
No,
And
and see the
yeah,
reason you are getting 40% is because it's a clockwork. You
right,
every time you are sending on same day, on same time, so the person on the other end
they
is
already
getting it.
get it.
They are already expecting it. From first week, maybe they are learning it. Second week, from third
Mhm.
week onwards, if they are reading it, they are expecting the mail to come within an hour. That is why you are getting that open rate. But in cold,
Exactly.
but when
But
you are sending cold, it's
that's
cold.
not, yeah. So I would say no, no, no. It's not really possible to do that unless I don't know what kind of title can
Yeah,
make them
and
open it 90%. Okay.
yeah, and of course, on top of that, you have fake open rates, because Google and all basically open your email now and then proxy the pixel image pixel, which is used for tracking and so on and so forth. So most of the tool, uh, and in fact, there is a famous code email tool. If you go to their terms and conditions, you will see they clearly say that we don't guarantee any kind of certainty about open rates. Open rates can be, we don't make an attempt to clear out or filter out open rates and so on and so forth. So they are indirectly telling you in your face that they are going to count each and every proxy open rate, which is the false open rate. So it is what it is.
Okay. So now we discussed that. Now, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I have something in my throat actually.
Okay. So now let's start taking some questions. So we discussed now the open rates.
Mhm.
So bottom
So,
line, what?
okay, before we go there, let me give a let me show people how the Mystrika's new UI behaves, because it has been a while we
Right.
have created any videos on Mystrika's new UI, and why we say it is one of the best ones
Right.
uh,
Actually,
today.
you will have to do a demo. That's my next topic. You interrupted me. Okay, so we are going to do a quick demo on what are the latest feature and UI changes on Mystrika.
Yeah.
Because some of the questions from the audience is that, hey, how do you integrate with OpenAI?
Ah,
And I believe Mystrika has already had that integration for almost a year now, and
yeah,
most users don't even know about it.
yeah,
So we are going to show you all of that.
yeah.
Are you sharing your screen now?
Yeah, let me go ahead and share it.
Okay.
We will keep it short. So share the
Yeah, we will keep it
screen.
short, but
Yeah.
we will walk you
Okay.
through the new UI.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
and okay,
So basically, this is how the Mystica's new UI looks like. You can expand and you can, of course, collapse. And as soon as you register on Mystica, this is where your journey should start. Cold Email Accelerator. And of course, Cold Email Accelerator is completely free. You can get on the free plan, and it is a full master class that we don't charge anything for. And it is very, very detailed on what you should do, what you should not do, how you should start your journey with cold emails. Okay, everything top to bottom is mentioned here, how you should configure and structure your campaigns to your email IDs, what configuration is needed, what is the breakup needed, to everything, every other thing that you can think of. And you can see in our group, people have been talking about this course and how good it is. So the first part tells you how you can send 1,000 emails per day, how you can achieve a very good open rate, and so on and so forth. It's a very detailed. You can see the size of small bar. It is very small. So it is a very, it will take you some time to finish and go through these all emails. We talk about why spin text is needed, how you can use it, and so on and so forth. Too detail, too many details. In the second part, we talk about how you can scrape leads, how you can get leads, what are the platforms you can get leads from, how you can get the targeted leads, if Twitter is a good source, if Instagram is a good source, if Facebook is a good source, if LinkedIn is a good source, and if you want to use each of these platforms, which tools you should go with. It's a very detailed mastery for talking about where you should and how you should acquire leads at the most affordable cost. The third one is which niches are profitable and how you should structure your offers in the cold email campaigns so that they will convert. So this is where you should start your journey with cold email as soon as you sign up on Mystica. Now let's go back to the UI. So this is Mystica's new UI now. If I compare this to the old one, probably people will get a better perspective of how things were and how things are now. So this was the old UI. So, well, honestly, I used to like that, but my customers were not. So we decided to change the UI and get the new fresh look. So this was the old one. This is the new one, and this is the most important metrics you will see throughout your email IDs or cold email journey. It is success percentage. It tells you how many emails that you're sending out in your warm up are landing in spam on the other side. This is the most email metrics that will tell you. For example, look at this. This is one of my friend's email ID, which is added here, and look at its reputation. It is 63%. And look at the reputation that these email IDs have. These are sitting at 99%. Anything beyond 90 is a good percentage. Anything below 90, you should not use for cold email. Let's just say that. And over period of time, there was a requirement that people wanted OAuth for both Microsoft servers and Google servers. So that has been implemented. You can go with OAuth on Google Workspace. You can go with OAuth on Microsoft 365 servers. You can have free Gmail IDs added to Mystrika. You can have SMTP or IMAP based addition on Mistika, and so on and so forth. So today, each and every type of email ID is supported by Mistika. If it has a SMTP, IMAP, or OAuth, all three of them are supported. Then this is an interesting part. Mistika supports tags, which a lot of number one and number two cold email platforms on today, even today, does not support. And tags are something you can use to bundle your email IDs into one. And these email IDs can then be easily selected when you are actually sending out campaigns. And we have a guide on how you want to you can enable it and so on and so forth on our YouTube channel. So, for example, I have a tag here created warming up. So this tag can be selected in the campaigns to choose these email IDs. Then in Mystica, you have bulk mode that can and does makes your life very easy. You can select any number of email IDs, and then you have this option where you can do mass action. For example, warm up config can be updated with a click. And for folks who doesn't know, Mystica has gone multilingual in warm up, and this is huge because there is almost no cold email tool out there which has so many languages supported for warm up emails. There is no other tool.
Okay.
Literally, you
I
can
didn't know
go and
that.
you can search. Yeah, you can go and search. There are no other tool where you get so many options for the warm up email type, warm up email language. Uh, then on top of that, you can go to warm up config. You can select your limit. You can update your tracking domain. And now this is, it feels a very small feature, but a lot of major tools are lacking this today. And I'm talking about number one, number two, and number three tools on the market where you cannot update your tracking domain. You have to go through one by one, whether you are updating 100 email IDs or you are updating 200 email IDs. Tag system, various tools on the market on number one, number two, number three tools are having because, and it has become a mess. In fact, you can go to one of the webinar that I did in our group, and one of our 5-figure MRR customer actually said then and there that their VA was spending more than 10 hours every week just selecting the email IDs, ensuring these many email IDs are in one campaign, these many email IDs are in second campaign, because number one, number two, and number three cold email tools have a restriction of 100 email IDs per campaign. If you're not aware of it, please go and check. You will see that the restriction is there. Mistika is one of the only tools where you can select even 600 email IDs for a campaign and not worry about it. Uh, okay, so we talked about this part. So let's go to campaign and how things look there. Oh, and of course,
Oh, by the way, I have a question here because
mhm,
okay, so you can have okay, I'm just checking on AppSumo what are the limits. So
uh-huh.
you have 5,000 uploaded prospect contacts. Okay, so there is a soft limit of 199 email IDs, right?
Correct. So that is a the limit has been uh, imposed to ensure your email IDs are in good standing. You can always
Okay.
come to us, ask for a limit raise if you have exceeded 75% of your current quota. We have customers today using as high as 2,500 sending email IDs with us,
Mm-hmm.
and no issues with that. We don't have any problem with that if your email IDs are in good standing. But if your email IDs are troubling other customers, if they are bouncing, if they are having really bad reputation, then we might have a problem in increasing the limit. So that check is there to ensure our warm-up pool remains one of the best in the industry today, because warm-up pool is a shared resource. That is the only reason 199 sending email IDs has been put there. But you can come back, ask for a raise. We will just do a simple audit, see how many email IDs have been turned off, how many email IDs Mystica is having problem with, and then we will either suggest you what is the problem, please go and fix it, or we will raise your limit. Most of the people who use standard email servers, Google, Microsoft, they have never seen a problem. We have never denied them or a limit raise. Every time you ask, we will raise and double your limit, current limit. So if you have, let's say, 200 today's limit, first double will be 500, close to 500. Next double will be close to 1,000. Next double will be close to 2,000, and so on and so forth. We don't have any problem with that. But you need to ensure you are responsible for your email IDs. They should be in pristine condition, or
Okay.
you take them off.
Right. So, because the reason why I want to discuss this before we move on to the campaigns,
Mhm.
there are also some limits with regards to, for example, you have maximum 10 emails per domain
Ah,
and one maximum 100 emails per email ID. So, this we need to explain to them, hey, why are these limits even there?
okay, so actually, this thing we also discussed in Code Email Accelerator, but as folks might
Mm-hmm.
not have read this today, uh, the reason we do this is uh, you should not be using more than three email IDs per domain for sending cold emails. That is what you should use today. After the February update, you should not be using more than three email IDs per domain. If you are using more than three, you are at a risk. You should reduce it immediately. People had been using a lot more email IDs. It used to work. Okay, we were recommending till December to go with 5 email IDs per domain. Today we are recommending 3 email IDs per domain, because that is what is working today. Our recommendations change as the policies from major providers are changing. So 3 email IDs per domain, that is what you should be using. We have given a reign of 10 just because some of the non-cold email folks might be using so many email IDs for their own purpose, and they might need a warm-up for any other reason. You should not be using more than three if you are doing cold emailing. Now, coming to 100 email IDs, uh,
No, 100 emails per
eh,
email ID. Okay.
yes, sorry. So 100 emails per email ID. The reason that limit is there is in Cold Email Accelerator, we talk about that you should not be sending more than 50 emails per email ID per day. Out of those 50 emails, 25 should be warm up, 25 should be cold email. You should not be exceeding that. Less than 50. So we have introduced 100 as the hard limit if you want to play with fire. But we don't want to go and do arsoning and burn out our warm up pool. So the 100 is the cutoff.
Okay, good. So that's how we keep the warm up pool safe in a way.
Correct.
Okay, so now we can proceed to the campaign because I just want to make sure that they know these. Oh, one more thing. Okay, so you have domains now. For these domains, actually, do you also have workspaces? And how do you segregate? And can I assign specific domains to workspaces?
Oh, so basically, workspaces are entire separate entity from your
Mm-hmm.
one workspace to another. You so. let's take an example. Anyways, I'm logged in, right? So these
Right.
are two workspaces that I created. If I switch to any one of them, it is switching. You see,
Yes.
I don't see any of the email IDs here because
Okay.
it's an entire separate system. It will have its own email ID. It will have its own campaigns, own Unibox. It will have entire separate entity altogether. You can give anyone access to this workspace if they are a Mystrika user. You can ask your customers to create a free account on Mystrika, and then you can click on assign workspaces, select whichever workspace you own. You cannot assign the default one, and then you can type Mystika owner name. For example, assuming Elma's username is Elma, you can just type Elma here and click on assign workspace. It will assign Elma the workspace. Any Mystika user can be assigned the workspace, and they will have full authority over that workspace. Very plain and simple.
Okay. So we have workspaces. Yeah, I think because we need to go through the basics, the
Correct.
workspaces, and is there a limit on workspaces, number of workspaces?
Okay, so today there is no limit on workspaces actually, but come on, don't go around and start creating
Don't
hundreds of
abuse it.
workspaces.
Okay.
Yes, don't abuse it. And I have to explicitly say this because when we introduced blacklist, some guy actually inserted over 10 million records in the blacklist, and then suddenly I saw that the database has inflated multifold, and we were like, what the heck happened in a day? We found some guy had stuffed in over millions of record in the blacklist just because we did not have a limit there. Come on, please don't do that. In
Yeah.
general, we don't have any problems if you want to use 5, 10, 15 workspaces, but it has to be something genuine.
Okay, because the reason why I asked for this one is there's a question in the audience about how come they cannot delete workspaces in Mistrika.
Okay, so there is a technical reason, technical challenge, because since it is an entire different entity in the backend, what do we do with those email IDs? We need to figure out each component that has gone in that workspace before we delete that workspace. Else, those entity will become abandoned. It will still count towards your limit, but it won't be visible to you. So we need to mark each of the entities which are part of that workspace before deleting that workspace. So it's a work in progress. It will be there. It is just not there yet.
Okay, and you mentioned that it will still count towards the limits, and the main limit is actually the number of prospects that you can upload. So that actually is the hard limit for Mistrika. So you
Correct.
have
That, that
soft
is that
limits
is the
on, yeah.
that is the only limit we have today. We don't have any limit on how many emails you are sending to them and so on so forth. Okay, for
Okay,
example, you can have a sequence of 10 emails sending to 5,000 prospects. We don't charge you anything. We don't have a limit on sending 10 emails for them in a month. We don't have any problem with that. But there is a limit. We need to put some kind of limit, right? It cannot be a open system.
right. Okay, so guys, there is the limit on the number of prospects, and
Mhm.
say you already made a campaign to those prospects, and you can take out those prospects and then add new prospects in. So that's
Correct.
how to work with your limits. Okay, because don't tell me, hey, 5,000 is too low or whatever. So
No, see, the goal was always to ensure people are making money before they can pay us money. As simple as that.
mhm.
15,000 is a very good limit if you have a very targeted list of folks. And I can guarantee you, if you really put in effort to get 15,000 targeted lead, you will make money. Plain and simple. If you make money, please get on subscription. And our subscription is again very budget friendly. Take and compare it with any tool on the market. If you are making money, why won't you share a small fraction of it with a tool which is helping you build up your money? As simple as that. The plan was always to grow together with our customers and not enforce a kind of limit that or makes sure that we charge them beforehand. That is one of the reason the Mistika started with what I think the first price for Mistika was 59 or 49, and then we kept on
49.
adding and then we kept on adding features, more and more, and then things started to keep on going up and up.
Okay, so now, yeah, before it was, I can actually research it.
Yeah,
How
it
much
is either
was?
49 or 59, one of the two.
Okay, yeah, I bought it the first time it came out, so I would know. I need to look at my invoice later. Okay, so okay, I found the view invoice. So yeah, so Mystrika has evolved a lot, and the UI is much cleaner now. So now we can go to campaign. Sorry, I need to do the basic first before we move to the next level inside Mystrika.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh yeah,
So
it's $59 in the beginning. Now it's 125 per code, I
yeah,
believe.
okay. So let me share screen again. Okay. So this is where the campaigns are there. You can click on basically creating campaign and editing campaign is very similar. And this is the opportunity we use to create graphs and all. These are metadata. So I will just go and edit one of the campaign. If you want to create it, you can click, put a name, set an ease, and then click on create. Very simple, very similar. There is nothing fancy here. You can go and click on edit. Oh wow, there are so many tabs. My browser is behaving very slow.
Okay, so while we are waiting for that, so there's a question here which actually we answered earlier. How can clients access workspaces in Mystrika if they are on a free plan? So you basically have your paid plan with Mystrika, and then you invite your clients to create a free account, because once they are a Mystrika user, you can then invite them into your workspace. So that's how
Yep,
it works.
correct. You just assign them, and they will start seeing this in the drop down. Uh, so the owner, if you are the owner of that workspace, it starts with W hyphen. If you are the client, it starts with C hyphen, the same workspace name. So you can very easily differentiate if you are the owner for that workspace, or if you are not the owner for that workspace. Very, very simple to differentiate.
Okay.
So, and in Mystrika, you have A to Z variations. Okay, you can have up to 26 variations if you keep on going. But on a running campaign, we have disabled the ability to delete the previous variations. The reason being, the analytics. If you delete, for example, one of the variation, what do we do with the um, previous analytics that we collected for, let's say, variation B? So you can disable them, of course, anytime you want, but you cannot delete from a running campaign anymore. You can add any step you want, but you cannot delete it. Or if you talk about AI writer, you can come and give any prompt to ChatGPT, and of course, for this, you need to have your own OpenAI key. You can give any prompt to write any email, full email. For example, I don't know, what shall we write a cold email about?
I don't know.
Write a
Okay.
cold email to which Mistika, a cold email plus warm up tool to marketing agencies in LA, US. Okay, so something like that. I hope it gives a decent one because this is the first time I'm providing this prompt. So accept output, and this is how it looks. See, it has used the variable. Are you looking to take you? Looks pretty decent to me, actually.
Okay.
So you can use AI to write the emails. You can also use AI to personalize each and every prospect. based on whatever data you have in Mystica. That is also possible. So let me show you that in a minute. In Mystica, you can of course upload prospects in the settings. Now this is a interesting thing. You can have of course signatures, read receipt, text on the email, blah blah blah, normal settings, and then we have optional settings. And here, now this is a Mystica only feature. You can have a email forwarded to you with actual content every time you receive a email from your prospect against your cold email campaign. So let's say you sent an email, a guy responded. If you provide an email, you will be forwarded an email. You will know exactly what someone has responded with a positive email. You can log back into Unibox. You can type it. You can respond him back immediately. Okay, so this is a Mystica only feature. If you want to uh, copy the guy prospect in person, you can do that. And then you have automatic office detection, you have automatic reply detection. For example, you sent a support ticket has been created and so on and so forth. And then this is very interesting, these two are very interesting features in Mystica. Detect negative sentiment means anyone who says unsubscribe me, removes me, whatever, it is treated as negative sentiment. It is moved to entire different category in Mystica. And then if negative sentiment is fired, and if you have provided a goodbye message, this message will automatically be sent to the other guy. Let me show you an example. I have it open here. So this is a cold email we send to our folks, to other cold email marketing agencies. We know these people are actually working, uh, actually using cold email tools. So look at this. This guy says there is a whole cold email. Okay, so apparently the guy removed any email that we sent beforehand, but whatever. So basically, he responded with unsubscribe. Now, Mystica detected that it is a not interested email. This is a negative sentiment. It, instead of moving to inbox, it moved it to not interested automatically, and then it fired goodbye message. And this is my goodbye. This copy, this whole thing that you are seeing is my goodbye mail. Are you sure you don't want to scale? Mystica is offering a deal, blah blah blah. And at the very end, we are saying we acknowledge the receipt of your delisting request. If you don't respond, we are not going to respond any further to this. Now, this is again a Mystica only feature, but it is very interesting because you won't know how many people have actually responded to this email and came back to us and said, okay, tell me what this tool is doing. Now they are interested because they are getting a meme. Of course, there will be a couple of people who won't see the last line and they will be pissed, but then this is a very good opportunity, your last chance to ensure you can still pitch them uh, your sale and so on and so forth. Your last chance to make the sale. So that is goodbye message. What else is left? Okay. So AI personalization. So let's talk about that. So this is, let's say, 185 leads, right? If you want a personalization message, for example, uh, uh, what do people use personalization for? Icebreakers, right? Click on
Mm-hmm.
the triple dots, go to AI prompt system, and let's say the task name is, I'm just going to put something, and then you can have a chat GPT prompt, and then you provide the dynamic variable where that line gets stored. So you can have a prompt probably like write me a single line icebreaker for a cold email that is personalized personalized the to the lead with name. Oh, and this is interesting. You can put f name variable, whatever variables were already are already present for those leads. And let's assume you have uh, their their business name or whatever, or their location, whose company name is, and they work out of in Nice. So now what it will do is, if I run this prompt, and if these variables are actually present, it will create an icebreaker statement for each of those 185 prospects and store them in a variable called icebreaker. Once this is done, you can start using icebreaker variable in your campaign and start sending them emails. Plain and simple. So you can use AI to create a complete personalized email. And see, I'm talking about one line here, right? If you want a full personalized email, you can do that for each of the prospect as well. And this feature has been in Mistika for over an year almost.
Yeah, and not a lot of people know about it. So, because it's one of the most asked question in our live right now. Can you integrate it with OpenAI? So actually, it's been there already for over a year, and we
Yes.
just most of us didn't know it. Actually, I know it because Abhishek and I keep on updating each other, so I know it. But I think I even have posted about it in our group, but people are not. We have too much to do, so
Yeah.
okay, but it's there. You can go to Frescent's YouTube channel, and they also have a tutorial on how you can do this,
Yeah.
like how you can upload
Correct.
your, where to enter your API key and stuff like that. Okay.
Correct. So in the latest thing on Mystrika, we have uh, enabled API now. This was one of the thing recently our customers have been pushing a lot, because we were already able to integrate with this Go high level and so on so forth using the webhooks, but API was something that was lacking. So now you can push uh, prospects using your whatever external tool you are using, whatever CRM you are using, and push the prospects within Mystica. You can update their status within Mystica using API and so on and so forth. Everything is possible now. So API have been created, APIs are accessible, anyone can use it. If you have a developer, you can start integrating with your external tool, whichever you are using. Not a problem.
Okay. Hey
Oh,
guys.
there
Mhm.
is. Sorry, I know it is expanding. It is going a little longer than I actually expected.
Okay.
But there is one more thing that you guys will actually love a lot. So it will be the same to say to not show people this feature. So, for example, assume I'm responding to this prospect, which say the unsubscribe. Assume it is a positive email. So I can just click on macro, wait for it. Okay, that is interesting. I have not refreshed this page for a while, so let me just refresh it and see.
Okay. So while waiting for that, please answer the question: are there any API limits?
So we are going to rate limit it to a decent number, because there are batch modes already available in the API. So we don't want a single guy to overload the API system, but in general, it will be generous enough that you can go ahead and use the API system comfortably. But if you don't use the batch modes, if you start, let's say, pushing prospects one by one, uh, it will be painful and it will slow down the system. We want to ensure that every user on the Mystrika system uses the system fairly. It is important. So today there is no limit, but we are going to rate limit the system soon.
Okay, so rate limits. And guys, we are not here also to compare Mystrika with other cold email tools. So all the questions about how do you compare Mystrika with this tool, that tool, or whatever, we will not answer that today. Please do your own research because this is really controversial and you might not want what you hear.
No,
Okay.
I will just say one thing. There is not a single feature which would be present in any cold email tool today, which is not present in Mystrika today. I would just put it at that. If you find one that is actually and genuinely useful to you, that is present on any cold email tool on market, it is not present on Mystrika, come to group, start a thread, and let me know. Tag me. Plain and
Right.
simple. It cannot be better than this, better discussion than this. Just go tag me, and I will come and answer. If it is a useful feature, we will build it.
Oh, Abby. Okay, you are back. Okay, so where are we next? So we now discussed API, and
Mhm.
in terms of integrations, you mentioned that you had webhooks.
Mhm.
Um, but do you also integrate via Pabbly or Make?
So you can use webhooks to integrate with Make. There is already a video uh,
Okay.
on our channel where we show how you can use Mystica with Make to push data into Google Sheet. So Make has webhooks, and in fact, any code any tool that you will see with integration has webhooks. Pabbly has webhooks. Zapier has
Right.
webhooks. Go High Level has webhooks. You can use any webhook compatible software, and it will work with Mystica, not a problem.
Okay. So what are we discussing next? Let's go back here. The macro. And
Okay,
what is the
yeah.
difference between a macro and just another one that I that is quite similar in
Tem-
functionality? Template or
Template.
something like that?
Okay, so macro is a kind of template. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can have a data. If you go to here macro, you can save bunch of templates or macro. We call it macro. You can call it templates, whatever you are comfortable with. You can have, I believe, up to 25, and then anywhere where you are replying, whether it is within campaign, whether it is outside campaign, whether it is unibox, you can click here, and you see that there is a this is what the macro you created. Use this macro, and boom, you have everything written here. You can click reply, and you are done. You can even have variables sitting here. Okay, okay, it should be first name. So, and then you can hit on reply, you are done. It will take you less than 1 second to respond to your emails. Instead of typing them one by one or copy pasting them from a notepad and so on and so forth, you don't you need to use any other tool. You just click here, select whatever macro response you want to use, click on use macro, and then boom, it is done.
Okay. So what's the next thing that we need to discuss on the features?
I think we have covered almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we also have very detailed analytics, including the results for A/B testing and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Uh, and people can explore it, but I think
Can
we
you
have
show
got everything.
did you show the graphs earlier? How do the reports look like?
I okay. I'm not logged in into one of the live account now, so I
Okay.
cannot show it now. But there are already graphs. A lot of graphs users have posted in our group. People
Mm-hmm.
can go take a look, uh, and of course, each graph on Mystica now comes with a download button. You hit the download button, image will be sitting in your desktop. You don't need to use any screenshot tools and so on and so forth.
Okay. Okay, okay, got it. And okay, so we have some questions here. Okay, so why don't you allow stacking more than three codes?
That is simple. If you are using more than three codes, you are making money, right? What is the problem on getting on subscription then?
Subscribing.
Yeah, our subscription starts with what, $13.
Right, it's very cheap and you're making money, and then let Abhishek make money too, recurring amount of money, right?
See,
Because
see, see.
help
At the end
you.
of the day, we all know. Come on, yeah, all of our customers know. We know. Elma knows. All founders know. The actual money is in MRR. That is
Right,
where the lifeline is, and it is very important to generate MRR. So why not help us?
right. It is a small amount, like hey, if you have three codes and you used all your limits, then definitely. you are already making money. That is if you are doing your campaigns well. So it's very
So
important that, yeah.
just average ticket size product, and
Mhm.
I have done a research on Mystrika.
Okay.
Average ticket size product our customers are selling on Mistika is minimum average is 500, highest is $6,000. Okay, and then of course I'm excluding the roofers because their business starts with $12,000. Okay, I'm excluding the roofers because they are a outlier class, but on an average $500 people pitch products or services for. Highest ticket products excluding the roofing services are around $6,000. So come on, one sale you are making at least $500. It doesn't cost much to get on a subscription. Our I think our highest plan costs what, $119 or something, and that gives you 125K leads. That's a huge plan.
Okay. So, okay, this is really interesting because, as most of you know, I am also the CMO of CrawlQ, and Harish just sent me a message. Hey, Elma, do you think cold calling and cold email will help improve our MRR? So, that's the thing. Like, hey, you are right on time. Go join me. Because this is what I have already proposed a few months ago, and that we need to change a little bit of focus. And now we are going
Yeah.
back to this kind of campaign where we are
Yep.
going to do massive cold emailing and cold calling.
Yep.
And this is
So
where, yeah,
the best way to do these things are, you start with cold emailing,
right,
get the positive ones, call them, and then talk to them what they exactly need. If it's a fit,
exactly,
you will make the sale right then and there.
right. Okay, so yeah, so this is really interesting. And okay, so let's see what are the other questions. Let's go move. Okay, so the question here is, can I import my existing email list into Mystrika and use it for
Yes.
cold emailing? So let me clarify this question further, okay? So I believe what Fardin means here is that, can I import my existing prospect email list? So we need to be clear because it can be your, because he might be mentioning his
Sending.
own inbox. Yeah.
Hmm. It
So
can be. I think when now this is only based on experience. He might be asking same thing, might not be asking same thing.
right,
But when people say, can I import my existing list, uh, in cold emailing world, they're talking about their sending email infrastructure. So if Ferdin is talking about sending email infrastructure, if your tool provides a way to export a CSV file, or if you can create a CSV file for your existing email IDs, we provide a bulk format. You create the your CSV file in the correct format, upload it in Mistika, let it upload. It will take few minutes to upload because it will do a sanity check for each email ID, SMTP check, IMAP check, and then it will start uploading them. And if it finds everything is okay, all the email IDs will be uploaded in Mistika. You don't have to go and add them one by one. You don't have to do that. There is a
right.
bulk mode for that.
So yeah, okay, because I want to say there are two email lists that we talk about whenever we talk
Yes.
in Mystrika. We have the sending email list, which Abby just talked about, and the prospect email list,
Yeah.
which you can also upload via CSV.
Yeah.
Okay, so both can be done, and we want to make sure that it's clear that which one is which and what can
Correct.
be done with both. Okay, now if we add CSV files, will it verify the emails before sending?
Okay,
Within
so
Mistika, no, but
uh,
will filter bounce. Okay,
yes, we have a sister site called filterbounce.com, and of course there are comparison videos compared to whatever tools you are using. There are comparison video for two tools there. You can see what is the status of filterbounce against those tools. You can make your own sound judgment. If you guys are interested, come to Mystika's group, ask me for a code. We will give you first month subscription for $1, 15,000 email IDs. Not a problem. You go and check for 15,000 email IDs. If you are not satisfied, ask us for a cancellation. Not a problem. Okay, but do ask us before first month, because from second month onwards rebill will kick in and it will start billing you for $15 and onwards. uh, in Mystrika, we do a basic sanity test to ensure email ID's format is correct, the domain exists or not, but the actual email ID validation is not done.
Okay, so email validation is a different software.
Mhm.
And next is why I think what is
Okay,
okay.
so this is a perception problem, because every Tom, every Joe John out there has been sending spam emails from free email IDs today. Just go and look at your spam folder in your email IDs in the Gmail or Hotmail. You will. I don't think I need to answer why it is advisable to use business email ID, because almost every spammer out there uses free email IDs in bunch without knowing anything about their prospect. So it's a perception problem, it's not a delivery problem. People, when they receive emails from free email IDs, they outright assume that it is a spam. They don't bother to look beyond that. So it's not like free email IDs cannot work. It can work, but the conversion rate would be much lower compared to custom domains.
Right, because it's the perception. Like
Correct.
even myself, if I see a cold email that is
Mhm.
coming from dot gmail at gmail.com, delete. Because for me, that's a personal email and it's not a professional email.
I
As
I
simple as
have
that.
I get almost 25 emails from Outlook and something with .wix.com,
Mm-hmm.
which says every day that my Facebook page and ads are going to be banned, and I need to respond to that. So those are hoax emails, those are forged emails, those are phishing emails, and I get them 25 of them almost every day. So you can imagine my perception about free email IDs. And of course, same thing happens to everyone out there.
Okay, and let's go next. Okay, does Mystrika have a feature that predicts the deliverability probability score? Oh, tongue twister.
There is already success percentage there. There is what is there to predict? You are
Right,
literally seeing how many emails within the warm up pool that you are sending is landing in spam. Warm
right.
up pool and success percentage is a very good metrics to see what is the status of your email. You send a what you say, stupid email campaign one day with lots of bounces and whatnot. I guarantee you next day you will see a huge dip in your warm up pool in your success percentage in warm up pool is a reflection of how your campaign and email ID is doing. Not exact, but very close.
Okay, let's go here.
Mhm.
And okay, I think we've answered this earlier. Can we delete existing contacts to create space for new ones? Because you have
Of
this limit of
course,
500 email prospects, right?
of
And
course, of
yes,
course.
you could. We discussed that
Anytime,
also earlier.
anytime. Just remember, uh, we have a catch of 5 or 10 minutes. So when you do a mass delete like this, and even if we have a bulk mode to delete a whole campaign or the leads from campaign, and those options are there. Just give the system 5 minutes before you upload the fresh set of leads so that the catch catches up. That's about it. There is no restriction when you can delete it or anything as such.
Okay, so this one is just a suggestion. I feel it will be awesome to have a direct integration with powerful AI agents tools such as Cascade and CrowQ, so we can automate AI agents to handle some of the processes involved. Um, uh,
Okay, I will have to think how it will
yeah,
fit
think
into
about that.
picture.
Yeah.
I
Oh, we
will
are
have
gonna
to
talk
think.
more. I'm with CrowQ, so you already have a direct access. Okay, okay, let's go. Let's see. Okay, last few questions. What features are you planning to add next in your app?
Okay. So um, I've been debating if we should go with the subsequence, to be honest. And this question has been put multiple times in our uh, group, Facebook community group. And you won't imagine the answers. Every time I go and ask, give me a scenario, a actual use case where you need the subsequence. Can you please elaborate? I need to understand. Okay, because if you're sending 1,000 emails per day, you are getting 10 positive responses because Mystica is already removing all the negativity out. So you are almost seeing only the positive sides. So 10 or 15 maximum emails you are sending. And of course, if I get a positive response, I will, instead of sending them down the funnel, I will try to answer them one by one, as human as possible. Okay, so not a single person in our group has been able to give us a scenario, cold emails, a proper scenario, proper use case where they could be using subsequences. So we have been debating if it is worth it to go and create the subsequences or not. But uh, if you or anyone can come up and convince us that it is something that will help you immensely, we are ready to go and build it.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's true. Like for example, the Open AI,
Mhm.
the bring your own key inside Mystrika has been available for more than a year now, and they added that functionality because they've seen that, oh, this is needed to really make super optimized
Correct.
cold
and
emails. Mhm.
think of it this way. You, when you are using other cold email tools which are charging you by the credit, what they give you, 1,000. You just go and see your chart. When you do 1,000 personalizations using chat gpt via Mystica, go and check your bill once. I guarantee you it will be more than it will be less than $2 or $3. Okay.
Okay, but just to let you know that actually such tools are useful for me who don't have any open AI key. Okay,
Correct, correct, correct.
so there are a few cases where that is not applicable, but in most cases, like if you live in India and US, where you really have access to open AI key, go for it. Bring your own key,
Yep.
and that
That will
works well.
always be way more cost effective compared to any tool giving you credits.
Right. Um, okay, so guys, I've already put down the form for our live giveaway, and we are going to have total two winners today. Yeah, and let me see if I missed anything. This is a funny comment. Abhishek, you look like Sumit.
Oh, you won't believe I talked to Sumit over call.
I know you mentioned to me. That was so
Yeah,
funny.
I actually talked to Sumit over phone.
Yeah. So yeah, both are really cool guys, by the way. Sumit is the founder of FlipLink, Gumrev, find what email or something like that. My lead Fox, and then Abdi is also, he has a lot of these different tools, so
Yeah,
they go along well. They're actually very similar. Even the way they run the business, the way they do the support, the way they do the how do you call that, the development, quite similar. Okay, so I believe no more questions. And I've sent out the form. Let's see.
okay. I need to
Let me
actually
see.
run now because we have run kind of off schedule. I will let
Yeah.
Elma handle all the
You
giveaway
talk
part.
too much.
I know, right? Well, I have been told that I will be mindful of the time going forward. But then
Okay.
then then things keep on going out of control. I have a wife
Yeah.
staring from the other end of the room. That what I am doing. So
Okay, guys, have you filled up all the forms? So, okay, I'll do the live stream, the live giveaway. And how can they claim the giveaway, Abby?
okay, so I will give you the code. Folks can get the code from you. Not a
Okay
problem.
then. No problem. Okay then, so see you around the end. Let me see.
All right, everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, and bye, Abhishek. And then what I'll do is, okay, within 5 minutes, I'll do a live giveaway in our group, like just showing the wheel of names to announce who are the winners. Okay, so I'll do that a bit. I'll do that offline. Okay, so thanks so much, everyone, and I see you next week.